Hey guys, it's me, Cassandra from Mobile Om Yoga, and welcome to this virtual yoga practice. I am here on location at the beautiful Mission San Jose in San Antonio, ready to move and breathe with all of you in this online class. I'm so grateful to our sponsors, the Western National Parks Association, for allowing us to continue this free class series in the online space while we're keeping our physical distance. So wherever you are, thank you so much for joining me. I ask you to unroll your mat and let's get ready to move. So we're going to begin our practice just by taking a nice comfortable seat and allowing yourself to find those roots, nice and grounded down into your mats. And you're going to begin with one of my favorite mudras, which is called the Hakini Mudra, which is when you just take the fingertips all together, leaving a little bit of space between the hands. Allow the shoulders to soften down the back. Get nice and settled in here, and then I invite you to allow your eyes to close. Just take a moment to tune into your breath. Just like this breeze I'm experiencing out here at the missions. Connect with that air quality within. That natural flow of your inhale as you expand and open. And the flow of the exhale as you empty out and soften. Taking just a couple more natural breaths here. Bringing awareness into your connection to the element of earth beneath you. Lifting tall through the crown of your head as you grow and open into the physical container of your being. Keeping this mudra, simply just bring the awareness to the fingertips where they touch and gently press them together, awakening the energy in the fingertips. Begin to feel the arms wake up. The shoulders may be starting to hug back towards one another, trying to connect the shoulder blades just like the fingertips. Taking one more deep breath in and out here. And this time with your exhale, allow the palms to come together and allow your thumbs coming to the center of your chest, finding this prayer, our Anjali Mudra, our salutation seal, where we seal in our intention for being here in this practice. And whatever brought you to your mat this morning, honor it. And commit yourself to keeping it top of mind throughout this practice so that you can remember your why. Something deeper than trying to perfect your tree pose or stand on your head. Just showing up for yourself. Taking one more breath here. And then a big exhale, sigh it out. We'll come together in virtual community using our next exhale in the sound of Om. So inhale. Taking a moment, whether you chose to vibrate your voice or just internally chant Om. We do so in recognition of that spark within ourselves, that wisdom that brought us here, and acknowledging and honoring those that we may not even see that are here with us, that they also have this wisdom to cultivate. And then go ahead and release your hand. All right, we'll move now into a child's pose. So crossing over, coming onto the hands and knees. Knees come nice and wide, big toes touch. Set your hips down back towards your heels and walk your fingertips long towards the top of your mat. And I like to bring my hands a little bit wider so that I have space. So bring the fingertips or the pinky tips towards the sides of your mat. Roll the shoulders back and down away from your ears. Hips are sitting towards the heels, finding a nice long spine. Begin to breathe deeply and expanding each inhale into the torso and softening through the exhale, finding some release. One more big breath in and out here. Your next inhale, pressing through the knees and the hands. Press into a tabletop pose, stacking your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. On your inhale, let the belly drop down towards the mat, gaze lifting up towards the sky. Opposite exhale, tucking the chin, rounding out, just like a Halloween cat. So really use the earth here as you inhale. Feel as if you're dragging your knees and the back and the hands towards one another to really stretch the front of the body. And then on the exhale, you do the opposite. As you tuck the chin, roll the tailbone, slide like you're pressing your hands forward and you're drawing your knees back, like you're trying to maybe split your mat in half. Two more just like that. Inhale, belly down, really using the earth, dragging those palms. Exhale, rounding it out. And one last time, dropping the belly, lifting up the gaze. And then exhale, curling it out. On your next inhale, find a nice and neutral spine. We'll tuck the toes, begin to lift your knees up and take them back, finding a downward facing dog. So our first time coming onto the feet, let's walk it out a bit. Bend one knee, allow the opposite heel to sink down. And then the opposite side. Just taking these first few moments as an opportunity to wake up. Wake up our physical container. Wake up our mental container. Wake up our breath container, breathing more mindfully than we have perhaps all morning. One more breath in. And emptying it out. Next inhale, just slowly begin to tiptoe your feet all the way forward towards the top of your mat. On an inhale, flatten your back, hands come onto the thighs. Exhale, fold all the way down. And walk your feet a little bit wider. We're going to dangle for a moment in ragdoll. So in ragdoll, you want to bend the thighs enough for the belly to rest, and then you just let the upper body dangle over. A nice generous bend in the knees. Using those thighs to rest your belly on. Hands can be at the ground or on your elbows. Maybe find a little sway here, side to side. All right, and then release your hands if you decided to take a bind. And then on your next inhale, unfold into a halfway lift. Press the crown of your head forward. On your exhale, one last time, melt it all the way down. Give your head a good shake, yes and no. And then on your next inhale, begin to unroll yourself all the way up to standing. Stacking from the feet to the shoulders, finding your Tadasana pose. And then you'll open up your palms towards the front. Roll those shoulders back again to hug open. Focusing that energy of inhale to lift up through the heart. Each exhale, roll those shoulders back. Inhale, take the palms all the way up towards the sky. Find the fingertips in that little globe shape, Hakini Mudra. From the heels through the fingertips, inhale, reach taller. As you exhale, press the hips forward, and maybe you lean back a little deeper. Inhale through center. As you exhale, swan dive with the arms and forward fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, palms come down to the mat. Step both feet back. Let's pause in our first high push-up. Pressing the mat away, doming up the spine. You can keep the knees lifted, or maybe you take them down for some support here to really bring more mindfulness in the placement of our shoulders so we're not wearing them up by our earring holders. Take one more inhale from your version of plank, and then exhale to belly down, come all the way onto the mat. On your next inhale, you're going to halfway lift into just a low cobra. So once again, you're squeezing those elbow heads together, elbow tips, or the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pressing up. You can come through plank if you're ready to go all the way back up, or keeping the knees down. Make your way to down dog. From here, take a deep breath in, and exhale it out. Inhale, and let it out. One last inhale. And then a long, full exhale. Lightly move your feet to your hands. So you can take a few steps to get there. Maybe you float there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go, fold. One more time, inhale, we'll sweep all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Find that Hakini Mudra. Exhale, swan dive, forward folds. Let it flow, halfway lift. One breath as you exhale, palms come down, feet step back, maybe the knees drop, helping you lower down to Chaturanga. And then finding your cobra once again, or if you're ready for up dog, you can straighten the arms and lift your thighs. I know it's hard to tell in these pants, but my thighs are lifted. And then downward dog is where we'll meet. Hips move up and back towards the sky. Taking one moment to check in. So each posture we take, we want to do that same mindful arrival that we do when we get onto our mats. Checking in with our breath. Can we create space? Most importantly, checking in with where our mind space is. Are we still grounded in the intention that brought us here? One more breath. And empty out. Look forward, walk, step, or float, feet to hands. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, forward fold. All right, this time we're going to find chair pose. So start to sit your hips low. Before we take the hands off the mat, I want you to shift the weight back towards your heels. So really we're bringing our knees back towards the ankles. And then start to rise the chest. And we'll begin with that Hakini Mudra right at your heart. So keeping space between the palms, sinking those hips low, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder heads together. And now we start to feel some fire in the belly holding us up here. So you can keep that globe shape right here at the chest, reminding you to keep breathing into that heart space. Or perhaps intensify and reach the globe, reach that Hakini Mudra towards the sky. And as those fingertips go high, keep sliding the shoulders down, allowing your breath to continue to flow. Taking one more moment wherever you're at to inhale and stay for your exhale. Let's take one more inhale. Let your exhale release, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, palms to the mat. Step both feet back. High push-up or plank pose. Lowering through, or you can always skip this and come straight into down dog. Again, listening Most importantly, what's going on in your container. Your breath makes a great barometer. If it's getting a little heavy, you can take a break to catch your breath. From here, let's reach the right leg back behind you, bend the knee, and begin to let the hip open all the way up towards the sky. So your left heel is your anchor. Keep sinking it towards the earth. Both palms really planted and anchored equally into the earth. Take another inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to draw the knee towards the nose and begin to slowly transition the right foot in between your hands. We're going to sink deep into the left knee and drop it all the way to the ground. So before we take the hands up, I want you to walk that right foot forward and really sink and get deep into your hips here. Hands are going to start, they can come onto the thigh, a really great support here. Or we're going to find that same Hakini Mudra right at the heart center. So fingertips are gently pressing together, arms are waking up, shoulders hugging back. Wake up the navel, breathe through the chest, focusing your gaze, staying here or lifting that earth, that globe, reaching up towards the sky. And as the fingers move high, the shoulders slide back. Maybe the gaze lifts up. Take one more breath. Stay for the exhale. On your inhale, release the hands. And then on your exhale, you're just going to shift into that left knee, bringing the right leg all the way back behind you. You're going to straighten it, turning open. We're taking a modified side plank. So I kind of pivot on my left knee so that the toes are coming off my mat slightly. Right foot, I'm off the mat already. Right foot coming back to the back of the mat. And let's bring the right arm up to the sky. Nice. Take a big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Maybe a challenge for this last breath. Lift the right leg up. Exhale, stay. Take one more breath together. And as you exhale, we'll start to come back forward. Right hand comes to the mat, swivel around, tuck the right toes, and then step it back into downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And long breath out. Left heel reaching high towards the sky this time. Bending up your left knee and opening up towards the sky. Right heel anchoring towards the mat. So really feel the earth in the hands. It can feel easy when we're in challenging poses to get heavy because the earth is drawing us down. So start to draw in the navel, lift up and open that knee. Find some lightness in your pose, lightness in your breath. One more inhale. And as you exhale, we're slowly transitioning the left foot all the way in between the hands. Walk it long and then sink your right foot or right knee down to meet the mat. So let's sink down as deep as you can, and when you get to that deepest point, you want your ankle underneath the knee. And then you bring the hands up on top of your left thigh. You'll pause here, sinking nice and low. And then when you're ready, hands come to that Hakini Mudra in front of the heart. As the fingers press, you feel the shoulders roll back. The fingertips can come high above you towards the sky. Shoulders slide down the back. Fire up your navel, taking one more moment to defy gravity here. One more breath. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down towards the mat. Start to transition back into that right knee. You're going to swing the left foot back behind you. Swivel open a little on the right knee. And we're coming into that side plank on the opposite side. So the left arm's coming up towards the sky. Right arm is supporting you. Right knee is supporting you. And maybe you lift the left leg so that you can find a bit of balance here. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly transition the left hand down and transition it back into downward facing dog. Breath in and exhale it out. One more inhale. Empty it out. And then bring your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let it go, fold. And let's find chair pose once again. Sit the hips low. Bring your hands into that globe at your heart center. Let's all inhale. Take it high. Finding your full expression here. And as you exhale, keep the hips low and open up the arms in a cactus. Now inhale, straighten up. Find the globe above your head. And once again, that back bend. And then exhale. Let's bring the hands right in front of your heart. Pause here. So I'm really inspired by the trees around me today and this idea that the earth can provide us with stability, but through that stability, we find our own expansion. We can expand out because we have roots, right? So let's find your roots here. And we're going to trust those roots as we begin to expand out in a new way. So find a drishti, a gaze point right in front of you. Hands are touching in front of your heart. Begin to shift weight into your right foot. All right. So the roots, that strength, that trunk of your tree is in the right leg. Begin to draw the left knee up in front of you. So you want to keep that left leg really active even though it's off the ground. So really strong in the foot. You start to draw that same strength into the navel. But as you notice these trees and the branches, the top, you don't want to stay super rigid. We have to allow that airiness, that spaciousness to stay in our top. Now we're going to start to lean forward, shifting the heart forward, and you're kicking that left heel straight behind you. So now we're becoming like a T shape. That right knee can begin to bend a little bit, begin to give you a little bit of ability to kind of go with the flow of your balance. So really straighten through that back leg, heart forward. And maybe you can really challenge yourself and see if you can reach that globe out in front of you and really feel your obliques turn on. Take another inhale. Wherever you're at with your exhale, start to bend more in that front knee. And you're going to trust that you'll find that mat behind you. And then you're going to inhale, straighten your knee. I'm going to turn to face you, but you're going to straighten to face the side of your mat. All right, so all 10 toes to the side of your mat. And you're kind of facing them at a diagonal. You're going to inhale your arms up. And as you exhale, let's get deep into a goddess pose. So inhale, come straight. And exhale, get deep. Right, inhale, straighten. And exhale, get deep. Let's pause here. All right. Bring your hands together into your Hakini Mudra. Really wake up by pressing through the fingertips. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. See if you can sit a little deeper. Maybe you get a little buoyant in that right heel. And set it down. Maybe you get a little buoyant in that left heel. And set it down. And then can you get buoyant a little bit in both heels? Stay grounded, yet expansive. One more breath. And go ahead and lower both heels. Start to straighten your legs, reaching out into that really wide starfish pose. All right, you're going to turn over your legs back towards that right leg. So I've turned around on you, right, towards that right leg. Step your back foot up. Square your hips here. So my back foot's going to come up quite a bit. Square your hips towards the right leg. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, start to fold until you're parallel with your mat. Pause here. And then pull that right hip back and lengthen your heart forward. Really feel the grounded earth energy from that right heel pressing down and then growing up and back through that right hip. And then as you're ready, you can start to fold. Take a micro bend in the right knee. Hands can come to the shins or to the earth and melt the head. And take a deep breath in and a breath out. We'll stay here for one more breath. And we're going to begin to look forward. Bending in your right knee, start to step into your right foot. Lift your left leg straight up behind you. So you're finding standing splits. So just like we had it when we were balancing, you want to keep that left leg really strong behind you. Draw your navel in. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to curtsy your left knee behind your right, just like you're taking a little bit of a curtsy bend here. And then you're going to inhale, take it back up to the sky. As you exhale, once again, find a little curtsy bend. Inhale, take it up to the sky. So we're really firing up our legs, our earth here, bending in. This time pause, and I want you to set your toes down. So I'll kind of turn to face. Set your toes down behind you, pressing into the feet. Start to stand up. So it's going to feel a little awkward, and you're going to be kind of leaning to the side. You're going to reach your arms up, try to find that Hakini Mudra up over your head, and stretch it out. And then maybe you lean over towards the right side, feeling the stretch coming through the whole left side body. And then you're going to step into your right foot, and then start to draw that left knee all the way up, hands coming into Hakini right where we began. And then on your exhale, set your left foot down. All right, shake it out. Maybe give your right leg a little bit of love. It's been a nice, great trunk for you. And then we're going to try to work some stuff on the other side. All right, so coming back to the top of your mat, finding your hands in your Hakini Mudra, finding a drishti. You're going to begin to ground this time into your left foot. And as you ground through that left foot, begin to draw that right knee up in front of you. So this time that left leg is your strong, stable base. The right leg is also really active here. So is the navel as you're really finding that trunk-like energy. And then don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to find a little bit of ease. Okay, keep your drishti nice in front of you. We're going to start to take it into airplane pose. So as you lean forward, you're going to kick back through that right heel. And you're going to extend through the right heel, through the crown of the head. And you can stay here, or maybe you challenge yourself, taking those arms out in front of you, finding that whole warrior three. Taking one more breath in. As you exhale, you're trusting the mats behind you, bending in the left knee. Take the right toes back. You're going to slowly start to straighten and turn towards the sides of your mat. Once again, the feet are going to face out towards the sides. Let's inhale up and open. And exhale, bend it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And last time, exhale down, pause here. All right, once again, you're going to bring the hands in front of your heart. Find that Hakini Mudra. Get nice and deep. And then we're going to do the same thing, trying to get your heels buoyant, but maybe we challenge and bring the arms above the head. All right, so try to get the right heel a little buoyant, and then you can set it down. And then you can get your left heel buoyant, and then set it down. And then see if you can get both heels buoyant, keeping the hips low, the breath flowing. Taking one more inhale. And as you exhale, settle the heels and straighten the legs. Bring your hands to your heart center. You're going to turn over your left leg. And again, stepping the right foot up about halfway up the mat so that your hips are squared and your shoulders are squared towards the front of your mat. Taking a deep inhale breath, you'll stretch tall through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, we'll begin the process of folding halfway. So when you're parallel to the mat, pause, pull the left hip back, crown gets long, inhale, and now soften that left knee as you exhale, take it all the way down, forward fold. Fingertips coming down onto the mat. Or maybe onto the shin. And taking just a couple breaths here, in and out. On your next inhale, start to gaze forward in front of your toes, starting to shift weight into your left foot. Walk your fingertips forward. You're going to take the right leg up towards the sky. Inhale it nice and high. And then as you exhale into that curtsy, bend the right knee behind the left. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, right knee curtsy. Last one. Inhale, right heel high. Exhale, right knee curtsy, pause. Tucking those right toes, bringing them to the ground. You're going to rise up. And you're going to take your fingertips up and find that Hakini Mudra above your head once again. So straightening as much as you can. Start to lean towards the left side, finding that side body stretch. And taking one more breath in and out here. And you'll start to bring the weight of your body into your left foot. Drawing that right knee up, hands coming to your heart center, back where we began. And then go ahead and settle your feet down onto the earth and shake it out. All right, back to the top of your mat. You're going to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, toes facing out. Take an inhale, reach the palms up towards the sky. As you exhale, collect that Hakini Mudra in front of the heart and begin to bend into your knees. Take it down into a squat. See if you can bring the elbows to the insides of your knees and pressing your knees apart, keeping that space between the palms. Taking one more breath in, exhaling it out. Release your hands, bring them back behind you, and you're just going to settle yourself down onto your bottom. And then turn to face the long edge of your mats. Bring the soles of your feet together and your knees wide to find a butterfly here. We're going to hold on to either the feet or the ankles and find a seated cat-cow. So as you inhale, you'll lift the heart, lift the gaze, and really puff up the chest. Exhale, tuck the chin round and out, curling into that cat spine. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, high. And exhale, round. Inhale your way up into seated pause. You're going to straighten your right leg out to the right side, bringing the left foot a little closer to you, perhaps. We're going to start with a side body stretch. Inhaling, reaching the right hand down towards the right leg, and then the left arm up towards the sky, finding a big arch in your left side body. So you're reaching along through the left fingertips. One of my favorite variations here is to bend the left elbow and kind of grab onto my skull. Create a little cradle for my head or my ear. And just letting the weight of the head fall into the hands. Allowing your breath to continue expanding your container on that left side. If you've taken that cradle, bind, start to unwind. Everyone else, just unwind on your own all the way back up. Pause in neutral. We'll just switch sides, taking the right foot in and extending your left leg out. So you'll reach that left leg down, inhale the right arm up, and taking it into that side body stretch. Once again, either reaching actively through the right arm to intensify your sensation, or again, you can cradle the head wherever you can grab and allow the weight of the head to deepen the pose. Your next inhale, you'll begin to unwind, coming all the way back up. And just take that right leg and straighten it out to meet your left. Take an inhale nice and tall, maybe even taking those sit bones, the flesh away, and kind of helping to tilt your pelvis forward. And as you exhale, we'll forward fold into whatever deep fold you can take. Try not to lock out your knees here. Keep a little bit of soft bend in the knee joints. Perhaps close your eyes as we slow down. It's a great time to check back in Checking into the physical container, the sensations that you're experiencing, checking into your breath, finding that even flow, checking in to the space between your ears, realigning with that spark, that intention that brought you here as we start to wind down. Just finding gratitude that most of the hard work is done. Next inhale, begin to bring yourself all the way upright into a seat. All right, just swing your legs together so they're towards the front of your mat. So we'll take one last forward fold over both legs straight. So again, now that they're straight, if you want to move that flesh away, find a nice grounded seat. And then I invite you to take a soft little bend in your knees. And if you have a pillow or any kind of cushion, it's a great place to put them here. We're going to start with the fingertips behind you. And you're going to inhale, puff up the chest. And to fold, start to just walk the hands towards you, keeping those shoulders sliding down the back. And then once you've gone as far as you can, just take a moment there and really feel from the sit bones that are rooted through the heart, that length you're creating in the spine. And then let the chin melt towards the chest without compromising the shoulders. And then bring the hands forward. You can reach for the feet or just beside the legs or to the shins. And then to your forward fold, wherever that may be. And on your next inhale, go ahead and rise up. Bring the hands behind you, facing towards the feet, or maybe slightly towards the sides of your mat. We're going to ground through the palms and the feet, lifting up into tabletop, finding a stretch in the front of the shoulders, the front of the hips, maybe even letting the head fall back. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, bringing the hips to the mat, and then slowly allowing the spine to come all the way down. Bring your knees together and meet at your chest. Hug them in. And then you can rock gently from side to side, feeling the earth giving you a massage. And taking in the beautiful sounds of the church behind me. Keep your knees wide. Find happy, baby. Amazing grace. Like to think of yourself having amazing grace for yourself. Grace for those moments when things may look messy and imperfect. We have grace under fire that help us see through the obstacles of our lives. Release the soles of the feet all the way down onto the ground. And walk your feet wide as your mat here, and just let your knees fall over to the left and then to the right. Just let them windshield wipe. And then the next time they fall over to the left, just let them stay there for a moment. And breathing into any tightness or sensation you experience as you hold the knees to the left side. Inhale, coming up through center. As you exhale, take the knees over to the right side, and as they hang out over there, just let gravity take over. Continuing to breathe and just allow whatever sensation arises to be there. And coming back into neutral. And then we'll bring your knees into the chest for a moment and then straight up towards the sky. And you can take your hands right underneath the small of your back as a little pillow. We're going to finish in this inversion. If you like a deeper inversion, you can always go into a plow or shoulder stand here. But I like to finish with my feet in the sky in this grounding practice and just kind of move them around. And they've been our roots so much. It's kind of giving the roots a chance to breathe and to find a little bit of space and ease, and finding gratitude for all the places that your feet have taken you. Go ahead and let your knees one last time fall towards your chest. We're going to take our final twist, letting the knees fall first over to the left side, keeping them close to the chest this time. Arms can reach out into a T, gaze coming towards that right shoulder. I'm taking about 5 big breaths here. I'm just letting gravity do the work, because you don't have to hold yourself here. And take one last breath here. And we'll gently draw the knees up towards center, and then letting them move all the way to the right side, settling down into the ground. Letting gravity support you here. Long, full, deep breaths. Last one here. Really fill yourself up and get really empty. And then bring your knees into the center. We'll take them into the chest for one last hug. Let your nose come to meet the knees. Squeeze it in nice and tight. And then release the head and release the feet for your final Shavasana. Palms facing up. You can take them wide. I like to kind of curl my shoulder blades to make a pillow to keep the chest nice and open. Eyelids soften to close the eyes. Just let yourself come back into a natural breath. Let that breath be your anchor. If you're one like me and your mind easily wanders, then anchor your mind onto that action. As you inhale, just think, I am breathing in. And as you exhale, I am breathing out. These last few moments, you have nothing else that you need to do. You've made this commitment to be here for yourself. And so let the practice nourish you. Without thoughts, without movements, just time to rest and breathe. Begin to breathe a little more fully. Try to take some full body breaths as your awareness expands into the fullness of your container, of this body that you've been given, that has everything you need and has a deep wisdom right in each part of your flesh and bone. This practice teaches us to listen. Arms above your head, stretch it out really long. Start to wake and percolate. Knees come in towards your chest, hug in. And then roll over to your favorite side, right or left. Taking just a moment here. When you're ready, you'll just use your hands to press yourself up to finish our practice. How we began, finding a nice seat on your mat. Eyes can come to a close once you've settled in, and find your Hakini Mudra one last time in front of the heart. Our Hakini Mudra is a mudra that centers us into our own intuition. It grounds us into the very core of our being, and that innate knowing, that innate awareness that we carry with us all the time. So honoring once again that spark which brought you here as a direct symbol, as a direct communication of that third eye, of that intuitive core that lives within yourself. One last breath here in. As you exhale, press the palms together into that prayer space, sealing this practice, thanking yourself for showing up, thanking this virtual community for being here to move and breathe with you and support you from afar. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today for this virtual practice from Mission San Jose. I'm so grateful to continue this series that's sponsored by the Western National Parks Association and done in partnership with the National Historic Missions Park. We will be back here every first and third Saturday next month as well. So tune in to our Facebook page at 10 a.m. We're going to pop up at a different mission, and I can't wait to see you there.